Hi, okay, so this is video number 9 for latitude and longitude. This is basically just a wrap up to kind of review the whole process and how it works. I'm going to want to bring your attention to some reading in the Unit 2 reading packet that's available in Classroom. It starts on page 27 and it's called Determining Positions on Earth. This is going to be a very brief reading on what we have talked about in this lesson. So if you want to just look at it from another perspective, this would probably be a good thing to read. What we're going to do, however, is we're going to use some of the questions in the packet to do a little review and application. So what I want to do, again, I encourage you to read this. I encourage you to do the questions. It's a great place to review. If you're interested in the answers to these questions, just let me know you want them, and I'll gladly give them to you. All right, so what we're going to do together right now is we are going to do question number 6. All right, so we're going to take what we learned today about a coordinate system in latitude and longitude. We're going to apply what we learned, and we're going to figure out what the answer to question number 6 is. So if you feel comfortable, move forward, pause the video now, see if you can come up with an answer, and then come back. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to figure out the coordinate pair for location A. So again, I like to think about it the same way that we do with math. So we're going to do a coordinate pair, and we're going to do latitude first and then longitude because they go in alphabetical order. So first thing you do is latitude. So latitude, flatitude. So I'm looking at the flat lines are the parallels. So the equator, we need to figure out where the equator is. The equator has a value of 0. So this right here is going to be the equator. All right, so we've identified the equator. The equator is 0. It is the flat line, the starting place for latitude. So now I measured down from the equator, and I went 10 degrees, and there's 20 degrees, and I'm about halfway in the middle. So a good estimate, a good inference for halfway between 10 and 20 would be 15 degrees. And I went south, so 15 degrees south. So my latitude for position A is going to be 15 degrees south. All right, longitude. So to do longitude, I need to find the prime meridian, and the value of the prime meridian is 0. So the prime meridian goes from the North Pole to the South Pole, vertical line, and the value is 0. So there's the prime meridian. I found it. So then I remember we are the world, and I'm going to go this way to the east side to get to point A. And so my direction is going to be east. And I went 15 degrees and 30 degrees, and it's right on the 30-degree meridian, the ISO line for longitude. So the value of A has got to be 30 degrees east. And so now I know my coordinate pair. So I'm going to choose, it looks like I'm going to choose option 4. All right, I hope you did well on that question. Let's move on. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to skip question number 7. That's actually going to be part of your homework for tonight, for this lesson. So we're going to move on to question number 8. Question number 8 is a great question because we don't see flat lines. We do, however, see parallels. This is one of those situations where, here, I'll put the globe up on the camera. This is one of those situations where we're looking at the globe, we're looking at it tilted. And so the flat lines of latitude, the parallels, they're still parallel, but they're not really flat anymore. They're sort of curved. So the thing that we got to remember here is that we have to curve the inference as well. And we have to follow the curves. We have to follow the direction of the isolines to make our inferences. We can't just go straight up or straight down or straight sideways. All right, so I'm going to move over here, get out of the way. All right, so let's talk about the question. What is the approximate latitude and longitude of the largest crater? Oh, I better read the whole thing. So the map below shows a location and diameter in kilometers of 4 meteorite impact craters, A, B, C, and D, found in the United States. What is the approximate latitude and longitude of the largest crater? All right, so first thing I'm going to do is figure out which of the 4 locations has the largest crater. It looks like, based on the numbers, these are the sizes of the craters, so it looks like the largest one's going to be A. So I have to figure out the latitude and longitude of point A. Okay, so that said, I need to figure out a coordinate pair. So the first thing I've got to do is latitude. All right, so I'm looking for lines. I'm looking for my parallel lines. So if I look at these lines, there are some curved lines right here. And the 40 line right here. These are curved lines, but they're parallel. They're never going to cross. Again, it's like looking at the globe at a slight tilt. If you look up here at the little camera, they're still parallel, but they're curved. So we want to recognize that. So these are going to be our lines of latitude, our parallels. So it looks to me like point A is farther north. This one here is 20. This one here is 40. So point A, location A, is farther north than 40 degrees. So we know that the latitude has got to be greater than 40 degrees. We don't exactly know exactly what it should be, but we do need it needs to be greater than 40. Now, if I were to draw in the parallel, I would estimate the parallel. I would pick the dot and I would follow the curve of the other parallels. So that's the parallel that this would be on. And I'm going to guess, based on what I'm seeing here, that's probably going to be somewhere like 46 or 47 degrees. That's just a guess, though. And I'm basing that off of the distance between the 20 and the 40. So there's the distance right there. And I'm estimating that. So that's really how I'm getting. I just know I only know really that it's supposed to be more than 40 degrees. Okay. I'm going to erase this, get rid of those. And then we're going to do longitude. So I know that my latitude is supposed to be greater than 40 degrees north. Now I'm going to do longitude. So for longitude, longitude lines, meridians, go from the North Pole to the South Pole, and they do intersect. So if I look at these lines here, these are number 1, they're labeled with a west, and longitude measures west or east. So these are definitely our meridians. If I were to continue them up, going farther up the page, they would crisscross, they would intersect at the North Pole. They are not parallel. Okay, so point A is located on a line, on a meridian. Let me actually draw in that meridian. So point A is going on a meridian that's looking about something like that. And so it's in between the 100 west and the 120 west meridians. So now I have to make an inference of what it needs to be. So this is in between those lines. So my inference would be it has to be between, but not equal to, 100 and 120. All right, so looking at my options, let's go through a true or false. Option number 1, is the latitude greater than 40? Yes, it is. That's true. Is the longitude in between 100 and 120 west? That is also true. So I'm going to guess that's probably our answer. Let's continue on. Option number 2, 39 degrees. Is that greater than 40? No, that's false. Number 2 is out. Question number 3, latitude is 44 degrees north. That's more than 40 degrees north, so that's true. That's okay. My longitude, 90 degrees west. That's not between the 100 and the 120. So that's false. So that knocks that one out. Last one, option number 4. My latitude, it says, is 35 degrees. It needs to be greater than 40. So that doesn't work. That knocks out number 4. My answer has to be option number 1. Okay, I want to do one more. Okay, we're going to do number 10. As a ship crosses the prime meridian, the altitude of Polaris is 65 degrees. What is the ship's location? And they're giving us a bunch of things here, a bunch of almost coordinate pairs. But one of the things that I'm noticing is they're giving them in bad order. So I see longitude before latitude, latitude before longitude, longitude before latitude. If you ever get asked a question and to give a coordinate pair, make sure that your latitude comes first. In this particular case, I'm not sure exactly if the right coordinate pair is going to be written the right way or not, but we'll find out. Okay, so as the ship crosses the prime meridian, the altitude of Polaris is 65 degrees. What is the ship's location? All right, so it's asking for a coordinate pair, so that means we have to have clues for both the latitude and the longitude. So the first thing I need to do is read this carefully, and I need to look for the clues. I need to look for a clue for latitude and a clue for longitude. So as the ship crosses the prime meridian, well, we know that the prime meridian is the baseline for longitude, and its value is 0 degrees. So that tells me that if the ship is crossing the prime meridian, its longitude is 0 degrees. So I'm going to put down that as part of my coordinate pair. But it's longitude, so it's the second half. Done. Okay, so now I need to figure out the clue for latitude. The altitude of Polaris is 65 degrees. So this clue is at the core of lesson 208, which is the altitude of Polaris is equal to the latitude of the observer. So we know the altitude. That means we also know the latitude, which is going to be 65 degrees north. You can only see the North Star in the northern hemisphere, and that's because the angle of Polaris is equal to the latitude. So I know the latitude is going to be 65 degrees north. All right, so go through and identify each option, true or false. Option number 1, longitude is 0 degrees. That's a true statement. Latitude is 65 degrees south. The 65 degrees looks good. It cannot be in the south because you can't see the North Star in the south. So that knocks out option number 1. Option number 2, again, 0 degrees longitude, that's true. And 65 degrees north latitude, that's also true. So chances are my answer is going to be number 2. But I want to check the other ones just to make sure. I don't like the fact that they're flipped. Latitude should come first, but right now that's our best answer. All right, question number 3, 0 degree latitude. No, I want 0 degree longitude. So that one's out because that's a wrong statement. Also, 65 degree west longitude. No, it was supposed to be 65 degrees north latitude. So that part is also wrong. By the way, I'm color coding for latitude and longitude. Option number 4, 0 degrees latitude, same problem as before. So that one's out right away. So done with that one. Our answer has to be option number 2. Okay, so this brings us to an end of, what are we on? Video number 9. Yep, that was video number 9. We're at the end of video number 9. The next video is embedded in the homework, which is worksheet 210, New York City's latitude and longitude. Watch the videos. It shows you how to do the first 2. You should have, I handed out the paper map today on Thursday. So you should have the paper map of this. You really don't need the paper map. You can do it digitally as well. But I think you might find it a little easier to do on paper. On your answer sheet, when you submit your answers, you're going to use the Google Forms answer sheet that's embedded in the assignment on Google Classroom. You can either type in the name of the city or you can use the letter identifier from the word bank list on the front page of the worksheet. Either one will work, the city name or the letter identifier of the city. That's it. So this is the end of the lesson. Your assignment for this lesson is worksheet 210. New York City's latitude and longitude. All right, let me know if you guys have any questions.